Bumper-to-bumper traffic kept them at a crawl. Washington is becoming as congested as New York City, she thought. New York. Livia. Why hadn't we tried harder to reconcile our friendship? We once promised never to let anything break us apart. The white 1972 Cadillac with the black landau roof crept through the morning traffic at a snail's pace. Irene reached over the front seat and turned on the radio. The Rolling Stones' Satisfaction blared full force into Doris's ears. She willed herself to be patient and to remember that her mother, Kate, had hated her boogie-woogie music. When Irene started bellowing to the dulcet tones of Led Zeppelin, Doris had enough. She leaned over and switched off the radio. God, Mother, you are so uncool. Like it or not, I'm going to be a rock and roll singer. Long live the dead. She enjoys torturing me, Doris thought as she shook her head. Ah, well, at least the girl isn't on drugs. As they pulled into the parking lot near Federal Triangle at 10th and Pennsylvania Avenue, she was struck by how different Washington was now. The mayor was black, the parking attendant Hindu, and a Republican was in the White House. She wondered if today's leaders, faced with horror abroad and fear at home, would unjustly persecute some of its loyal citizens, as had happened then. They probably would. Fear is a good instigator. She breathed deeply. But maybe there will be those who question and demand answers first, unlike that May so long ago. Chapter 1. Washington, D.C., May 1943. The garage door opened and the truck passed through quickly. Just as quickly, the workmen pulled the door closed, throwing the warehouse back into its state of perpetual gloom. The grimy windows that dotted the side walls were all but opaque, and the overhead lamps insufficient. As the truck pulled to a stop, the printing along its sides was barely visible. St. Paul Supply Company, religious articles. Two workmen jumped out of the cab of the truck and pulled open its back doors. One began unloading crates as the other helped unload the passengers. Inside the warehouse, a series of storage rooms served as the offices for the company. Makeshift at best, the main office contained file cabinets, a beaten-up oak desk, and a chipped enamel kitchen table and chairs. A single bulb hanging overhead cast a harsh white light across the face of Gianni Antonelli. Seated next to him at the table was a white-haired man with a careworn face. He wore his black overcoat collar up against the dampness. They both pored over a large map spread out on the tabletop. Yeah, we have added 3 more safe houses for our people. Here, here, and here, the older man said in a thick German accent. He indicated 3 spots on the map. That should give us room for another 15 to 20 people, bringing our total up to about 200, Gianni said. The older man smiled. Your name shall live forever in the hearts of our people. The door to the office burst open, and one of the workmen rushed in. Excuse me, boss. Another workman entered, dragging a man, his arms pinned behind his back. We found him using this. He tossed a miniature camera on the table. Gianni shook his head. You guys never give up, do you? You can bet on that, you guinea bastard, the man yelled. Gianni backhanded the man across the face. He turned calmly to the older man. Otto, why don't you greet our new arrivals? I'll take care of this guest. Yeah, Otto Wanamaker nodded as he hurried out the door. Traitors! The captive yelled. We're on to you! Gianni slammed the man across the face with his fist, knocking him unconscious. G-men, he sneered. Then he faced the workman. The FBI is getting too close. Find out how much he knows. Several hours later, Gianni sat playing dominoes with a couple of his men. The game was punctuated by the screams of the G-man echoing through the warehouse. The men ignored the noise and nonchalantly continued playing until one of the workmen entered. His T-shirt was sweaty and splashed with blood. Boss, he ain't got much left in him. Gianni nodded, got up from the table, and followed the workman out. They walked along a dark corridor, past a room filled with crates and into a cold storage area. Covered in tiles with a conveyor belt of large hooks overhead, the warehouse had once been a meat-packing plant. As they walked past the tables of worn butcher block, they heard the man moaning. We ain't found out nothing new, the workman informed his boss. Those guys still ain't got crap on us. Never underestimate the enemy, Salvatore, Gianni said as he slipped into a coat. Salvatore put one on also as they entered a walk-in meat locker, one of the few that still worked. The walls were covered in frost. Their breath made great plumes as they walked to the back. I'm here to ask you how you'd like to die, Gianni said simply, looking up at the agent. Naked and hanging from a meat hook, the agent was turning a deep shade of blue.